All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're doing something pretty wild. Instead of just looking at dry medical data or reading from a biology textbook, we're actually stepping into a fascinating biological autobiography. We are going to act as the voice of your very own eyes. By exploring this incredible source material, we're going to uncover the secrets, the daily struggles, and the literal heroics that happen right in front of your face every single day. It's a completely unique perspective. Our source material presents the story of the organs, told in the words of the organs themselves. So, by adopting the first-person view of the eye, we get to understand exactly what it feels like to fight for your vision nonstop. It really flips how we think about our own biology. We aren't just carrying these parts around. They're active, conscious defenders working tirelessly on our behalf. Chapter 1, our first line of defense.
Think about your nose or your ears for a second. Nature gave them some pretty basic physical barriers to keep things out. But the eye, it describes itself as a coastal front line. It is wide open, completely exposed to the elements, and constantly bombarded by trillions of invisible enemies. We're talking bacteria and viruses just floating in the wind, desperately looking for a way in. If it weren't for this highly advanced, constantly replenishing tear system, those invisible enemies would permanently destroy our vision in a matter of days. Tears aren't just for crying, you guys. They are a wildly sophisticated chemical shield.
And get this, it turns out our eyes actually take alternating micronaps every single time we blink. When you blink once, the left eye catches a tiny fraction of a second of rest. On the next blink, the right eye gets its turn. This alternating system is absolutely crucial because, as the source points out, even when we're fast asleep, rapid eye movement means they're still darting around underneath our eyelids. They are largely deprived of true rest, even in our sleep.
Moving right along to part 2, aging and weaknesses. As time goes on, our narrator, the eye, starts to confess some inevitable structural weaknesses. The muscles controlling its inner lens can start to fail, making it incredibly difficult to focus. On top of that, it can suffer from astigmatism. This is where the cornea, which is supposed to be perfectly spherical, actually loses its round shape, which totally distorts how light enters. But thankfully, modern medicine has developed brilliantly simple and effective solutions for these mechanical hiccups.
And here is the really amazing part, the sheer success rate of these interventions. The eye enthusiastically notes that simple prescription glasses can resolve these specific lens muscle failures 95% of the time. That's a staggering success rate that we honestly take completely for granted every time we slide a pair of glasses onto our face. Now for part 3, let's talk about glaucoma, a hidden enemy. The text defines a major, much stealthier threat, glaucoma, which is referred to locally in the source as column-motia. Now, this isn't just about a muscle getting tired. This is a highly dangerous fluid imbalance. The eye needs a perfect equilibrium of fluids coming in and draining out. When that drainage fails, immense pressure builds up inside, which can literally crush and cut off the blood supply to the optic nerve at the back of the eye. If this happens suddenly, it can cause permanent blindness in just days. But the true danger here is that it usually sneaks up very, very slowly.
Because this enemy moves so quietly, the eye practically begs us to watch out for these easily missed early symptoms. Are you seeing colorful halos around bright lights at night? Or maybe you're noticing a subtle loss in your peripheral vision, where you just can't see things out of the corner of your eye like you used to? Or perhaps you're struggling to adjust when walking from a bright room into a dark one. These aren't just random quirks. They're the eye's subtle distress signals, warning you of rising pressure. Now, I know that sounds terrifying, but the source notes a very specific statistic to keep things in perspective. The actual risk of suffering vision loss from glaucoma after the age of 40 is just 2.5%. And more importantly, if you do catch those early warning signs, it's highly treatable with simple eye drops, oral medication, or minor surgery. The key is simply paying attention to what your body is trying to tell you.
That brings us to Section 4, retina and cornea diseases.
The eye uses a super visceral metaphor here to describe retinal detachment. It says it's like glued wallpaper peeling off. The retina is basically the vital projection screen at the very back of your eye. When things go wrong, this incredibly delicate tissue literally peels away from its biological foundation. Just imagine the sheer panic of the organ as its most crucial internal component starts tearing away from the wall. When that biological wallpaper peels, the eye hits the panic button. It desperately warns you with some highly disruptive symptoms. You might suddenly see random, chaotic flashes of bright light, or completely distorted shapes where straight lines suddenly look wavy. Or you might get sudden blurry spots floating right in your field of view.
Make no mistake, this is a severe medical emergency. It's the eye loudly ringing the alarm bell.
But again, there is immense hope here too. If you act quickly, the absolute moment you see those flashes or blurry spots, retinal reattachment surgery has a massive 80% success rate. Surgeons can actually go in there and carefully stick that biological wallpaper right back into place, literally saving your vision.
Beyond the retina, the eye explains another major vulnerability, and that's transparency. The eye's tissues, specifically the cornea and the lens, have to remain totally transparent, like a perfectly clean window for you to see. If they get cloudy over time, which is what we call cataracts, the light just gets blocked. But the surgical steps to fix this are practically a modern miracle. Surgeons can literally remove the cloudy, opaque tissue and replace it with an artificial lens implant, successfully restoring crystal clear vision. It is a phenomenal reset button for one of our most important senses.
And that leads us perfectly into our final chapter, care and gratitude. Look, even if you feel 100% healthy right now, the reality is that once we pass 40, the eye undergoes gradual, inevitable biological breakdowns. The lens gets less transparent, those muscles weaken, and blood vessels physically harden, which means less vital, nutrient-rich blood actually makes it to the retina. This isn't necessarily a disease, guys. It's just a completely normal part of the aging process that every single human goes through. But despite all this inevitable aging and wearing down, the eye makes a beautiful, almost poetic promise to us. The source material states that if you use your biological blessings correctly, protect them, and show gratitude to their creator, your eyes will fiercely fight for you until the very end. The exact quote is, "I will provide you the best service until your last breath." It's an amazing testament to the absolute resilience and dedication of this tiny, complex organ. So, here's a thought to chew on today, and I really want you to think about this the next time you look in the mirror. How are you actively treating and protecting these incredible biological sentinels? They're guarding your vision every single waking second, fighting off trillions of threats and powering through micronaps just to let you experience the beauty of the world. Are you giving them the care, the attention, and the gratitude they truly deserve?